We all know that time is our very most precious resource. So we need to know what we're doing. So by taking the time beforehand to have a plan for what your week looks like, what your month looks like, even what your day looks like, and you're knowing what to do before you actually sit down to do it is a tremendous and beautiful and very, very powerful productivity tip. You are listening to the Beyond the Classroom podcast, a podcast for burnt out teachers who know something's gotta give. After teaching for 14 years and feeling completely burned out for way too long, in May of 2022, I made a big decision and left the classroom. I now help burnt out teachers like you take back balance and joy so you can wake up every day loving your life. In this podcast, we'll explore who you are beyond the classroom, whether you're considering leaving or wanting to make changes so you can fall in love with teaching again. Either way, I understand what it's like to be living a life that looks fun and cute on the outside. You know, summer's off, playing all day, off at 2 o'clock every day, but actually feels miserable and draining. I'm your host and coach, Sandy Patterson, and I'm so excited to help you step into your fullest potential and believe in that potential to make an impact on the world, not just survive each day. Are you ready? Let's do this. Well, hello there, and welcome back to another episode of the Beyond the Classroom podcast. I am Sandy Patterson, your host and certified life and business coach, and I am so happy that you are here today to chat again. I hope your New Year's is off to a great start. At the time of recording this, it is January 7th of 2024, 1 week into this new year, and I hope that you are absolutely crushing it. I told a client this week, I was like, you know what, we just got to come at this year with like full force, like full tackle football energy. And so that is how I have been trying to come at everything that comes up this year, just in that full, like, let's do this, not letting any doubt or questioning, just really moving in a really good flow. So I hope your year is off to a great start as well. And regardless of when you're listening to this, I know you're going to love this episode because I get asked all the time for productivity tips. Now, we had a really great episode last week. So if you didn't listen to that episode, I would highly recommend, before listening to this one, going back and listening to that episode. We put a new spin on productivity and kind of talked about different ways to look at productivity. So I would highly, highly recommend going back and listening to that. But I promised you I would be back this week with some tangible tips and tricks for you to essentially get more done in a less amount of time and to stay really, really focused, right? When we talk about productivity, we really mean just getting stuff done, getting shit done, right? And we all know that we have a ton of stuff that we can do in our business, in our lives. There's always stuff to do. So how do we essentially get stuff done without getting overwhelmed and looking at all of the things that need to get done and just being like, forget it, I'm not doing anything? Because how many times have you been there? I have definitely been there, and it's not a great way to feel, and it's also not a good way to get stuff done in your business or in your life. So today, I'm going to give you 4 tangible strategies here that you can take with you and you can try out to be more productive and to get more done in less amount of time, okay? So let's just dive right in. The first thing that I've noticed with clients when they ask about productivity, like, how do I get all this stuff done? There's so much to do. I have so much on my list, and I have no idea even how to tackle all of this. And what ends up happening is I have this big long list, and I'll start one thing, and then I'll hop over to another thing, and then I'll open up another tab because I thought of something else that needs to get done. And so I'll start working on that, and then I'll open up another thing, and then I remember this thing over here. And then by the time my work time is done, I've started all these like 5 or 6 different things, but really nothing has gotten done. And I don't think or feel that I've actually accomplished anything that's moving me forward. Now, this is a really, really common problem, and it's all good. So don't beat yourself up over this. It does no one any good to beat yourself up over anything or to feel bad or to like kick yourself and be like, oh, I should have done it this way. That doesn't help. So we just move forward from here on out. We're going to leave that all behind. Okay. The first thing I want you to do today is I want you to identify what your non-negotiables are. And when we say non-negotiables, I mean, what are the things that are so important? And I want you to make a list of your non-negotiables in every area of your life, okay? So in your personal life, so just for you. I want you to make a list of your non-negotiables in your family life, okay? I want you to make a list of your non-negotiables in your work or your business life. And maybe there are other areas of your life that you would consider that you would want to make a non-negotiable list. Now, the non-negotiable lists basically are your priorities, and everything on your non-negotiable list should be something that is going to move the needle forward and that also aligns with your core values. So all of these things, and there really shouldn't be a ton of non-negotiables on your list. As far as business goes, we'll talk about what those non-negotiables might be in your business. But in your personal life, in your family, there shouldn't be a ton, because again, the idea here is not to just write everything on a list and then expect to accomplish all of those things in one day. The idea is that you should be able to put on these lists, on these non-negotiable lists, the things that if you accomplish nothing else except for these things in that one day, you are going to go to sleep at night knowing that you did what you needed to do to move the needle forward. Now, you might not have done everything, but you did enough to feel proud and that it's sufficient. And you know, again, that the things that you did do are moving the needle forward, okay? So as far as business goes, I think that a lot of times we think that like, oh my gosh, there are so many things that I need to do in my business. And that is absolutely true. There will always be things that you can do in your business. Same, I'm sure, with your work life too, especially if you're a teacher, right? There are always things you could work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you would still not have accomplished everything you wanted to accomplish. And that's okay. We're just going to narrow in on the things that move the needle forward. And as far as business goes, when I say move the needle forward, I mean things that are making you money. What are you doing to make money? So I'm going to share my non-negotiables with you as far as my business goes. My non-negotiables in business are, number one, to do lead generation and to find new leads every day and make connections with new people, bring new people into my space. Number two, it is following up with people. So following up with people who may be potential clients, people who may want to work with me, or people that I honestly just really want to work with and I know that I can help them. Those are people that I'm going to be following up with. So far that is lead generation, that is follow-up, and then content creation is my third non-negotiable in business. Creating content means writing emails, creating podcast episodes, creating social media content. Those are all things that I do in my business to help pull new people into my space. And then the last one for my non-negotiables in business is to do mindset work. So that mindset work is so essential. And this might include, it's not the same every day, but it might include journaling or meditation or just having some space in my day where I can just think and be and come up with new ideas or create new things, or just time to be in that like CEO space where I'm not working in my business, I'm working on my business. So for me, those are my 4 non-negotiables. Now, this list, you see, it only has 4 things on it, but these are the things that I've identified after working in this business for over a year now that are going to move the needle forward and that are going to help me make money. Now, they might not help me make money that day, but it's basically planting the seeds in order to create income and create a sustainable business here. Now, every day, I try to do all 4 of these things every day. Yes, there are subcategories that come off of each one of these things, but I don't do every single one of those subcategories every day. So I'm not creating a podcast episode every day. I'm not creating social media content every day, and I'm not writing emails to my list every single day. It might be one of those things, but I always make sure that there's some time in there where I'm creating some sort of new content. I do lead follow-up every day, and I do lead generation every day, and I do mindset work every day. Again, it changes depending on what I'm feeling or what I need in that moment, but overall, those 4 things are my non-negotiables. So you need to identify your non-negotiables here. And I'll tell you why this is so important. It's so important because it helps you decide what to do as far as productivity goes and what you can say no to, right? Again, going back to that example in the beginning where we sit down and we start something and then that reminds us of something else. And then we have all these tabs open and we've kind of done a lot of things, but nothing actually really got accomplished. We want to avoid that. So by having this small, manageable list of things that are identified as money makers and as moving the needle forward, you're going to be able to narrow down what you should be doing. And then when you go to open up that tab, like I just did this today, I went to go open up a tab during work time I was like, oh, I got to make a dentist appointment. So I opened up that tab on my computer to find the dentist's phone number and make the appointment online. And then I thought, wait a second, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing right now. So close that tab. That is something that I can come back to. It's not something that I need to do right in that second. I don't even actually want to do it, but that's a whole nother story. So identifying these non-negotiables helps you stay focused on what you should and should not be doing during that work time or that business time. And the same goes with the personal time or the personal non-negotiables and the family non-negotiables too. My non-negotiables for my family are number 1, that we have dinner together every night. Number 2, that my kids know that I love them and I'm there for them. Number 3 is that I do something with them that maybe it's not something that I necessarily want to do, but it's definitely something that they want to do, whether it's, well, really, I want to do all these things. So I don't say that, but like maybe it's playing Mario Kart, or maybe it's playing catch, or maybe it's going outside to go for a walk or go for a bike ride. We do something every day that they want to do, and that is just focus time, right? And then as far as personal time, again, and personal time I think is for a lot of women is like the hardest one because it doesn't feel good to us or it doesn't feel natural to us to put time aside for ourselves to like not be doing something for someone else, if that makes sense. So personal time for me, I always, well, on most days, I try to take I was just calling them a nap, but I had a friend just tell me, oh yeah, I do this every day too. Like in the afternoon, I take like 5 to 10 minutes and I just, what did she call it? She called it like a release session where you just kind of release everything that's happened in the first half of the day. And then you just kind of have a little bit of quiet time, 5 to 10 minutes, and then you move forward with the rest of your day. And so I was like, oh, I do that. I take like a 5 to 10 minute like rest, nap, break, whatever you want to call it. And then I move into the rest of my day feeling really, really good. And then what else for personal time? Oh, I consider just thinking time, like having time to myself to just like think again, even if it's just 5 minutes where I'm not forcing myself to think about anything specific. Like I'm not thinking about all of the things on the to-do list. I'm not thinking about the appointments that need to be scheduled. I'm not thinking about anything in business. I'm just sitting and I'm allowed to think about whatever I want to think about. And then the last one for my personal non-negotiable time is to read. Read a book, not a professional development book, just a book for fun, like total, just whatever book I'm reading at the time that's just for fun, 5 to 10 minutes of reading time. So those are my personal non-negotiables every day. And again, all of those things move the needle forward for me, right? They help me show up as a better person, a better mom, a better wife, a better business owner when I do all of these things as opposed to when I don't. So these non-negotiables, these non-negotiable lists in every aspect of your life are going to help you with productivity again, because these are going to be your priorities when you sit down and you are there for work time or family time or personal time, whatever it is. It'll help you say yes and it'll help you say no. You will know exactly what you need to be doing. And that leads us into number 2, which is to have a plan, okay? have a plan, and know what you're going to do before you sit down. This is another thing that I think a lot of people underestimate how powerful this can be. When you sit down, so let's say you're in your business, right? And you sit down, you're like, okay, it's business work time. I have a whole hour blocked, and not even that you need to have an hour blocked. Maybe you have 15 minutes, maybe you have 30 minutes, maybe you have 5 minutes, right? You sit down and you're like, okay, what should I do? The confused mind is not productive. You're going to spend that time trying to figure out and prioritize what it is that you need to do first. As opposed to if you sit down and you have a plan and you know exactly what you are supposed to be doing and you can just dive right in. It's very, very different than sitting down and going, okay, I have this wonderful work time. What should I do, brain? And your brain's going to go all over the place. It's going to go to all of the lists, all of the things, all of the this, that, and the other. So what I like to do is I like to have a plan for the week, and I also like to have a plan for the day. So on Sunday, I always take time to sit down and just kind of map my week out so I know what appointments I have coming, what sessions I have coming up, who I'm going to be seeing, what I'm going to be doing. Basically, I just have like that big overview of what's going on for that week. And then the night before, I will list out hour by hour what is happening during that next day. So not that every moment of every day is accounted for, but again, I don't have to think like if I'm like, okay, I'm getting up tomorrow morning, I'm going to get up at 5 a.m. and I have 1 hour of work time before, my day really starts. So from 5 to 6 a.m., that is my work time. I'm going to map out exactly what I want to accomplish in that hour. And I also keep in mind what is realistic here. So I know now pretty quickly what tasks are going to take me an hour, what tasks are going to take me 30 minutes, what tasks are going to take me 5 to 10 minutes. And I have them all. I did this in the beginning when I was trying to figure out how to run a business, because it's like a total shit show, right? So I have all of these tasks listed out, and now I know how much time each thing takes. And some things too are going to take more than an hour, of course, and they might be ongoing projects, but I know how much time I need to allocate to each thing. By knowing that, it helps me better plan out what I can do in that chunk of time. And maybe I might have 5 minutes here and there. Well, instead of being like, okay, I have 5 minutes, what should I do? I can go straight to that list and be like, oh, this is a 5-minute task. Let me throw this together really quick, or let me respond to DMs really quick, or let me write a caption to an Instagram post, or whatever it is, okay? So that might help you as well as far as productivity goes, is knowing, like chunking and knowing how long each of your main tasks take. So go back to those non-negotiable lists and kind of map out how long, categorize each task based on how long they take. And then that's going to help you, because it's just not productive. You're not going to get more done in less amount of time if you sit down and try to figure out what to do, because by the time you've actually figured it out, the time is like halfway out and you're out of that time. And we all know that time is our very most precious resource. So we need to know what we're doing. So by taking the time beforehand to have a plan for what your week looks like, what your month looks like, even what your day looks like, and you're knowing what to do before you actually sit down to do it, is a tremendous and beautiful and very, very powerful productivity tip. So try it out and let me know how that goes. Now, the third tip I have for you as far as productivity is to get yourself an accountability partner. There is so much to be said about having an accountability partner. And I've talked about this before, and this could be a friend, it could be a coach, it could be a mastermind. You need to find somebody or a group of people that are going to hold you accountable. And I'll tell you what, the best accountability partners are ones that, number one, will of course hold you accountable. What does it even mean to hold you accountable? It means that you're going to tell them what you're going to accomplish in what amount of time. So I'm going to have this done by this day or time. They're going to check in on you and see if you got it done. And here's what makes an accountability partner really, really great. If you don't do it, they're not going to be like, oh, that's okay. I didn't get my stuff done too. It's okay. We're tired. We've got so much going on. No, they're going to say, what the hell? Why didn't you get it done? Okay. They're actually going to hold you accountable, and they're not going to let you slide. I've had so many people tell me that the accountability piece of coaching has been a game changer for them, because as coach and as client, my clients come up with these things that they want to do throughout their days or throughout their weeks or during that month. And I've had many people tell me many times that they thought they didn't want to do something, but they knew that I was going to come after them. And I'm assuming that they were saying that in a nice way, but I was going to come after them and ask them, did you do this? And if you didn't, why didn't you? What happened? That is a true accountability partner, okay? And also your accountability partner is also going to help you celebrate when you did accomplish what you said you were going to do. So they are going to hype you up. They are going to celebrate you. They are going to ask you, how are you going to celebrate you too? Because so often we don't take time to celebrate small wins. And it's these small wins that stack up over time that really build the confidence and the motivation that so many of us are looking for in our businesses and in our lives. So find yourself a really good accountability partner or a really great coach who's going to call you out when you don't do something that you said that you want to do, and then help you keep going. That's a game changer. Now, the fourth productivity tip that I have for you today is to find a co-working community. Again, there is so much to be said about a group of people working together to accomplish something. And co-working is so fun because for so many of us that are in business too, business can be really lonely. It can be a lonely space, and there can be days that go by where you don't even have to leave your house, especially if you're running an online business or you're not talking to anybody. So having a co-working community or a co-working even partner or friend or somebody that you can just simply hop on Zoom with for 30 minutes, an hour, whatever you decide, and to just side by side work alongside each other, that is huge. And that can also tie into the accountability partner piece too. Like the best co-working sessions that I've been into will have me or whoever's in the session or whoever is there, whether it's 2 people or 200 people, say or type in the chat or whatever it is, what you hope to accomplish in this amount of time. So in 30 minutes, I am going to X, Y, and Z. And so you're working towards something, and you don't have to be working towards the same thing. Absolutely not. I mean, you could. I have an amazing friend who I co-work with, and she's also an accountability partner as well. And she's a friend and also a business owner, but we have a standing appointment in our calendars for every other week. We get on Zoom for an hour, and sometimes we'll work on the same thing together. Like I think one time we just wanted to like cancel all of the subscriptions that we have. You know how that is, right? But it's just one of those things that is like, I'm never going to get around to doing this. So at that accountability meeting, we sat down, we said, okay, in this next hour, we're going to go through, we're going to cancel, we're going to look at all of our subscriptions first, figure out what we have. We're going to cancel what we need to. It was so great. And we did that together, and it was perfect, right? And then we walked away from that feeling really good because we both got that done. But then other times we'll just get on and I'll be like, what are you working on? She'll say, I'm doing this. And I'll be like, perfect, I'm going to do this. And we just kind of sit there and work together. And if we have questions, we can pop on. It's like being in a coffee shop, but I guess on Zoom, which is the second best thing, right? So find yourself a co-working community or friend or somewhere that you can get online, and not necessarily, and it's not a focused, like, it could be anything. Like you could just get on and work on those non-negotiables, right? Those in any area of your life. These are the things that I'm working on in this moment. So hopefully these 4 tips, so I will recap them for you here. So number 1 is identify your non-negotiables in all areas of your life. We start with personal, family, and your work or business. Create your non-negotiable list, and your non-negotiable list should not be super long. It should just be just enough And it should be really targeted things that you've identified in your business or family or personal life that move the needle forward. And as far as business goes, these are things that are making you money. And you want to make sure that those are your priorities. That's where you're starting with every day, and non-negotiables, right? That means that you do them every day. It's a non-negotiable. Number 2 is to have a plan and know what you're going to do before you sit down to work, because the confused mind is not productive. And you can save yourself an immense amount of time and get more done in less time if you know what you're going to do before you sit down. But this takes intentionality because you have to plan, right? You have to set yourself up. Number 3 is find a really great accountability partner who is going to call you out when you do not do something you say you're going to do. And she also celebrates with you when you do what you say you're going to do. And the last one is find a co-working community or friend, someone that you can hop on, and you could do this in person too, hop on Zoom or work at a local coffee shop together to just co-work, okay? And that ties into the accountability part. So hopefully these 4 productivity tips are going to help you as you move into this new year to get more done in less time and to help you stay super, super focused. I can't wait to hear what you think about these. They're different. I've never heard them talked about like this. Usually when I hear productivity, I hear like, when people ask for productivity tips, I hear of like time block or those timers that are, I don't even remember what they're called, but there's a certain amount of timers or time blocking. And just, I know for me and my clients, like those time blocking and certain timers and stuff like that doesn't always work. It doesn't work for everybody. These 4 things I found have really, really kicked up productivity and really just helped my clients feel really super focused in what they're doing in their days and in their lives. And it also makes their business and their life more fun, right? So hopefully this helped you as well. I can't wait to hear what you think about them, which ones you already do, which ones you're going to try out, or which ones are working for you, because you know I always love to hear from you. So please hop on over to Instagram, shoot me a DM, tell me what you're thinking, tell me all of the amazing things that you're getting done, and I will see you next time here on the podcast. All right, bye you guys. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Beyond the Classroom. If you know something has to change and you're ready to take the next step to make it happen, whether it's in or out of the classroom, let's talk it through together. Schedule a no-obligation chat with me and we can talk through where you're stuck, how to get you unstuck, and how to keep you moving forward. Schedule your free call today by clicking the link in the show notes. I can't wait to connect with you.